All right, Chargers fans, you're going to love this video. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to the Chargers, and we're Jim Harbaugh fans, started it, and we have a lot of fun. Now, here's what they did. They make a controversial move that you're going to love. So here it is. The Chargers, and we'll get to a 7-round mock draft in a second, plus some other news that's really important for the Chargers as well. The Chargers slammed the door on the Raiders' attempt to steal a coach from Jim Harbaugh. Okay, cool headline, but what really went on here? The Raiders wanted to interview wide receivers coach Sanjay Lal for their vacant pass game coordinator. And the Chargers just like, nope, I don't think so. And I love it because one of the things I've learned doing this channel is that Chargers fans almost unanimously hate the Raiders. Like a Detroit Lions fan, if you were to ask, most hated team, there'd be a pretty even mix between Bears, Packers, like Cowboys, I guess, right? But like within your division, there's a couple. It's like, I don't know. I don't like the Packers. I don't like the Bears. But here, it's like, it's the Raiders. Don't like them. So you've got Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh rivalry already. Now, your division rival, who you hate, is like, hey, I want to come get one of your coaches potentially. It's like, no, you're not. Done. And I love that. And it's a little controversial because usually it's like, fine, right? Like, what are you going to do? Stop somebody? It's like, yeah, we are going to stop somebody. And I love it. So let me know in the comments why you hate the Raiders so much, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's so, I don't know why I get a kick out of it either, so much either, because I guess I was just so surprised to see. Usually it's pretty even, but yeah, let me know in the comments. So I think that was really good. And so we talked about this before. You avoid losing Jesse Minter. You avoid really any coaches. We saw how your was it your DB's coach as a former Notre Dame guy is going to go back to Western Michigan. So you lost a coach. But with all the coaching staff moves all across the league, there's a trickle-down effect where you could lose somebody. No, you've lost minimal. And then when your biggest rival comes knocking, you're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that either. You can go somewhere else and figure it out. Another thing to do with the Raiders, and I know this is good. This is good to hear. Looks like they're going to hire Chip Kelly to be their offensive coordinator. What I find fascinating, I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, but former players of Chip Kelly in the NFL, remember when he was with the Eagles, they hate him. And I found it really interesting. There's been podcasts and these guys talk about it, and it's like, he didn't let us do this, and he was really strict on this. Like a lot of weird stuff that pro dudes are just like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this guy. It's actually borderline weird. And it happened in the midst of like when racism and stuff was really at its peak. And so not at its peak, but like post that. So here's what I'm saying. When these guys were like, yeah, I hate that. When the former players or players of Chip Kelly's on the Eagles were like, I hate that guy. It was right when, there was a big uproar of racism and stuff. And so they were saying some of that type of language, but it kind of blended into everything else. So all I'm saying is that really weird stuff. It was. You can go look it up. It's like, that's weird. That is weird. So what does this have to do with the Chargers? This is good. You're like, good. Chip Kelly with our big rival. They could have picked anyone in the world to be the offensive coordinator thing, but that guy, awesome. So I love it. If you're a Chargers fan, you got to be so pumped that Jim Harbaugh's like, nope, not letting you take my coach. You're hiring Chip Kelly. Get out of here with that. Like, that's weird. And now you can just, yeah, here it is. It's just kind of breaking. So we'll kind of see what happens, but it's kind of fun to think about. All right. Newest mock draft just came out. Let's just look at it again. We kind of go through these quick just because it's fun to be like, oh yeah, that would work or that wouldn't. Let's take a look at this one. And I kind of like this one. So I wanted to pull it up. Matthew Golden, Texas wide receiver. And we all know like Justin Herbert just really has not had weapons. That's not true. He had some weapons couple years ago. Let's look up Matthew Golden here. Check out this dude. Here we go, baby. Just an athletic guy that can get open, quick, good hands. We've looked at his highlights a couple times, and you're like, yeah, I'll do this guy all day. Wide receiver, put him next to Ladd McConkey, and that's just what the Chargers need. Because here's the thing about a wide receiver now. You have to run the ball and stop the run. Everybody knows that. But they are just chunk play guys that if you have them, you can get chunk plays, which is so nice. So, yes, please get that guy. I'd love it. All right. Harold Fanning Jr. Now, this is a new tight end that we haven't talked about. Really, there's the big three, I thought, tight ends. Fanning was not one of them. But tight end is just like such a glaring need because A, it's a need, but two, if you have a good tight end, it's such an advantage. So tight end in round 2, absolutely. Defensive tackle in round 3 from Tennessee. And then here it is right here, where you can go edge, offensive lineman, safety, edge, linebacker, guard, Donovan Edwards. I'll talk about him in just a second. What I like about this is you're not really reaching at all, and you're grabbing guys that get a playmaker. Have to get a playmaker, and then work on the offensive line. It's really that simple. Now, I laugh at Donovan Edwards being a Michigan fan. The guy's like so weird. He's a legend at Michigan because he's had such many big runs, but overall day-to-day running back, he's like not good. It's weird. So I say that to say you pick him up in the 7th round. Are you kidding me? That would be such a steal, especially Jim Harbaugh knows him and just to see what he could do. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this one. Again, why do you hate the Raiders so much? And again, if you hate the Raiders, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We're just went over 10,000 subs, and it's just kind of cool and been fun to learn about this franchise, right? Air Coryell, didn't know anything about that. I did, but I was like, oh my gosh, incredible. Then you start looking back. We've asked you guys to name like some of your favorite players. And it's like, oh, yeah, you did have Sean Merriman. You did have this player, that player. It's like, man, this franchise is a rich history, and love the colors, love the logo, West Coast. Like, it's a cool franchise, and they're on their way back. And Jim Harbaugh brought them back. It's fun to watch. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.